Hello, this is Oksana from Alabama, your favorite realtor in Mobile. Today I'm gonna introduce you to lender from Bank of England, Brandon.
Hey guys, it's Bank of England, and it's not Bank of England across the pond. It's Bank of England, Arkansas. So we're here in America.
Brandon, first tell me about yourself, like education, place of birth. And
Yeah. So I was actually born in New Jersey. I only lived there for 1 year, and then I came down to the South, and I've been down here ever since. Grew up in Daphne, Alabama. I went to the University of Alabama. It's where I met my wife. Roll Tide for all of you people out there. We have 2 little boys. I live in Mobile, Alabama, currently been here for about 10 years, and my office is over across the pond in Baldwin County.
And what's important for you to know, if you really want to meet your realtor, not over a phone, in person, you call me and we can set up with Brandon a meet at our office.
Yep.
Where he can just go over your information face to face. Tell us about Bank of England a little bit.
So Bank of England actually is England, Arkansas, like I said. I can lend in all 50 states, and we are a direct lender, so we lend our own money, but then we are also a broker, so that makes us like the best of both worlds, so we can be really competitive on the vanilla stuff, conventional FHA, VA, and USDA, but then we have the outside of the box stuff, bank statement loans, DSCR loans, down payment assistance loans, so we can be really competitive for the buyer out there. That's why I love Bank of England.
I want to talk about bank statement loans. Please tell us, what does it mean, bank statement loan?
Yes, so first off, you have to be self-employed for a bank statement loan. It's only for self-employed people. And then what we do is we get 12 months or 24 months of the business's bank statements, and then we use those deposits that are going into the business bank account every month as qualifying income. Because maybe you've got a really, really good accountant and you write off most of your income. So on paper, you can't get a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan. So your only way to buy a house is a 12 or 24 month business bank statement loan, but you've got to be self-employed, and we do want the business to be around for at least 24 months typically. We can make exceptions after 12 months sometimes.
What else do you require besides business?
So that's great. So you need 12 or 24 months of bank statements, and then usually a 660 credit score and 10% down.
10%.
10%.
What about proof that we were paying on time the rent or something?
So sometimes if you have maybe thin credit means maybe it hasn't been around for that long. Maybe you got a credit card in the last year and a car in the last year, and that's it. So you've got some good credit scores, but they just haven't been around for a while. So a way to overcome thinner credit is verification of rent. Okay, so typically, if you pay a landlord, we want 12 canceled checks for paying your landlord, and then them signing a piece of paper. If it's a property management company, like a big company, they can just fill out a piece of paper saying that you've been on time for the last 12 months. So it's with the private landlord that we run into some trouble, because not everybody always writes a check to the landlords, because they kind of want double verification if it's a private landlord. Property management, we don't need to see the canceled checks. They just fill out the piece of paper. So.
What about the length? How long it takes you to make
establish credit, or
to make a loan?
Oh, to make a loan. Okay, so I mean, I sat down here with her the other day, and we pre-approved somebody probably within about an hour. But typically from closing, like if we went under contract because they fell in love with the house, it's typically 30 days or less. I've had some awesome ones. My best one's 9 days of closing. So
9 days for mortgage?
Yeah, 9 days. This is how quickly I get clear to close, and we closed.
Wow, that's amazing.
Because we do have in-house everything. We're not going to shuffle you off to outside services. I have assistants in-house here. I've got processors in-house, managers, and underwriters. So I have ultimate control over the transaction. So it's another reason why I love Bank of England. I'm constantly getting recruited to go somewhere else. I'm not going anywhere else because I love where I work. So.
So I just want to let you know that when you start working with a lender, sometimes you do get contacted by assistants who are working on a team.
Yes.
Because sometimes it tricks people out.
Yep. I do have assistants, Beth and Matthew. They're going to help us get approvals from the underwriters, and they're going to do the document retrieval with you. So I'm there observing everything, copied on all the emails, but they're going to say, hey, can you send us the updated bank statement and the updated pay stub or something? So they handle that stuff.
All right. So, do you have any funny stories or any sad stories to share?
Woo! I got a funny one. Okay. So we had a farmer. He was about 88 years old, and he was buying another farm, okay? And he came into the office. He liked to do things face-to-face, and he would always bring his dog, Dolly. And Dolly would always go to the bathroom in my office. So multiple times, this guy would come up to my office. I would help him be retrieving documents. We'd be typing away. And then we're like, where's Dolly? And I'd have to go, pick some stuff up that I didn't want to pick up. And then 2 days before closing, he pulls up to my office. He's an 88-year-old farmer. So he's like a pickup truck kind of guy. He bought a Ferrari. In Daphne, Alabama, he bought a Ferrari 2 days before closing. So it's a big no-no to get big debt right before closing because it can mess up your chances for approval. So I was like, Mr. Pritchard, I'm just made that name up, that's not him. Did you just buy that? And he was like, yeah, but I paid cash. And I was like, okay, you need to sign this document saying that. And then he got clear to close. And then on the farm, there was a tractor in the barn. And he made it up in his head that he was buying this house and he was going to get the tractor. But no paperwork discussed the tractor. And on final walkthrough, he backed out. So after him coming up to the office multiple times, me picking up things I didn't want to pick up, going above and beyond, he bought a car before closing, and then the tractor, he left the transaction because there was no tractor. He wanted the tractor. We think he was drinking a drinker.
Oh,
I don't know if that's funny, but that's a...
That's an interesting story. It's a good example. By the way, what is that 88-old farmer watches to this video and says, I'm gonna sue Brandon and Bank of England for using my identity for advertisement. What do you think? Does he have a case?
No. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, that's just a story.
That's a story. There are many stories and many people who don't get a loan if they don't follow guidelines. If he says work certain hours a week, work certain hours a week. If he says, if your realtor or banker says don't buy anything, don't start a new line of credit, listen to them.
Please. Yep. Do whatever you want after closing, but for those 30 days and then once you close, just listen to us, please.
Let's come back to the bank statement loans.
Bank statement loan.
What the rate gonna be? Is it gonna be the same rate, like if people buying FHA or VA?
That's a great question. So these are higher rate loans because you have no other options to do this, so it's a little bit more risky. So the rates are higher, the down payments are stronger, and the credit score needs to be a little bit better. But if you have that, it allows home ownership when otherwise you wouldn't have an option to buy a house. So it's great. It really is. For people that really want to buy a house, this is how they do it. And then you get the house and maybe your accountant writes off a little less taxes so that you have more money on your tax returns the next year. And then we can do a refinance to a lower rate because you get a regular type of loan. So that's what happens a lot of times.
And how do they do refinance for lower rate? They call you again?
They call me again, and then we just do the same stuff. Pay stubs, make sure you still have your job, make sure you still have a decent credit score, and then we could drop your, let's say, 9% bank statement rate down to a 6% just full documentation loan.
But do they have to pay for appraisal and inspection of their property?
They do not have to pay for an inspection, but you do require typically a new appraisal.
How much appraisals cost nowadays?
$500 to $600.
Thank you, OKSANA and Brandon, if you need to buy property in Mobile or Baldwin County.
Yeah, we would love to help.
Bye-bye.